In this video, I'll be taking a look at NBA 2K19 on the Nintendo Switch. Now keep in mind, in this video, this is not a review of the product at all. I just want to talk about my thoughts and opinions on NBA 2K19 on the Nintendo Switch, because I haven't played a basketball game since I think NBA 2K11, so I really have no business actually reviewing this, but I do want to talk about everything NBA 2K19. So let's talk about NBA 2K19. Now, as of right now, NBA 2K19, I think until June 18th, is actually going for, get this, $3 whole, believe it or not, and that's what actually made me want to pull the trigger when it comes to NBA 2K19. Sure, I haven't played a basketball game in a while, and sure, I might not pay attention to everything that's going on in the NBA, but I still know players in the NBA, I still know teams, I still know what's going on when it comes to the NBA Finals, yada yada yada, you get my point, but I'm not the hardest of hardcore fans when it comes to the NBA and when it comes to basketball. But for $3, how can you really go wrong for a game like this? And I did pull the trigger on this game, and I got this game for $3, and I actually decided to go for the Nintendo Switch version of this game rather than, like, let's say the PS4 version or the Xbox One version of this game or even the PC version of this game. I decided to go with the Nintendo Switch version of the game because, of course, the Nintendo Switch is a hybrid system. So how does this actually hold up on the Nintendo Switch? Let's talk about my experiences. I probably already played about 5 to 6 hours of this game, so I clearly know what's going on. I probably played a couple of games or a couple of basketball games as of right now, so let's talk about my experiences right now. First of all, what I can say is if you're going to be buying an NBA 2K19 on the Nintendo Switch as of right now until the 18th, if you're still watching this video and it's not the 18th, this is definitely worth your $3 100%. What I will say is when you're actually playing this on a TV in the dock on the Nintendo Switch, it's actually better than expected. I wasn't blown away. I'm going to keep this honest with you. I wasn't blown away by the visuals, by the performance of the game or anything like that, but for what it is and taking in consideration the Nintendo Switch is way more underpowered than, let's say, something like an Xbox One or a base PS4, of course. You got to keep your expectations real, and honestly, it's definitely a game that's definitely very enjoyable on the TV. So if you're going to be playing it mostly on the TV, you will be having a solid experience, but what I will say is it's not going to be the best version. You're still better off buying something like the PS4 or Xbox One versions, and then on top of that, you guys know the Nintendo Switch online service absolutely sucks, and you know the community for sports games in general when it comes to Nintendo systems are very lackluster, and there's not a lot of people playing when you actually try to boot this thing up, so you're better off buying it if you're going to be taking your game serious, going to be playing online with a lot of different people, voice chatting with people and things like that. You're definitely going to want to buy it on another system, but for what it is, it's very good on the TV. Actually, to be honest with you guys, I wasn't even expecting it to be as good as it was on the TV. I was thinking it would be a little bit better than maybe the Wii U version, but from what I seen, I was absolutely, not really blown away, but absolutely pretty impressed with what I seen on the TV. Now, from a lot of different sources on the internet, they keep saying that this game does play around 30 frames per second. I think it's a locked 30 frames per second. Sure, it's not close to 60 frames per second, so it's not as buttery smooth as something like the 4 or the 1 version of the game. But what I can say is, but when I was actually playing the game, I found it to be very fluid, and you won't have any problems moving your character, shooting, anything like that. It's going to be flat out an amazing, very good experience when it comes to the performance of the game. One thing I did notice on the Nintendo Switch version after playing it for several hours, 5 to 6 hours, I did actually notice that some character models look kind of weird, and then there is some problems with some characters where you see holes, like the graphics are actually messed up. I don't know why that is. I don't know if I was just getting glitches in the game or whatever the case may be, but I did see glitches on some different character models and things like that, which I thought was very odd, but I have to keep my expectations real. I only paid $3 for this game, but that should not even exist with a company like 2K, and you guys know, if you know anything about sports games in general, not just basketball games, you guys know 2K really knows how to deliver, so that's really unexcusable, and that does kind of suck that I did see some glitching and see some imperfections in the character models. I don't know why that is in this game, but overall, I definitely like my experience on the TV. Now let's actually talk about my experience on the go, because this is where I really wanted to try my experience on the go, because I am a gamer, believe it or not. I don't talk about this too much on my YouTube channel, but I did grow up with things. I did grow up up with the PSP, and the PSP was notorious for having a lot of sports games. And since the PSP did have a lot of sports games in its catalog, I played a lot of NBA on that. I'm talking like NBA Live 06, 07, 08. I even played the later 2Ks, which there was like I think two 2K games on the PSP, and those sports games on the PSP, for them to be sports games on the go, trying to be console experiences on the go with the PSP, I was absolutely mind blown as a kid. You have to take into consideration there was nothing like the PSP at the time. Even the DS at the time couldn't even compete with the PSP in terms of graphics, so I was blown away. That was pretty much your console experience on the go when it comes to the PSP. But now let's talk about my handheld experience when it comes to NBA 2K19 on the go. When I first booted up NBA 2K19 and played it on my Nintendo Switch, I was honestly sitting there thinking to myself, what am I actually looking at? Basically what I'm saying is this thing is absolutely mind-blowing in handheld mode for me personally. Some people may or may not disagree with me. It just depends on what person you are. But for me personally, I thought this was absolutely mind-blowing to get a game to look as good as it did on the Nintendo Switch. Of course, 2K company really knows how to make sports games, and they really know how to make the NBA license really shine, their polish, and everything when it comes to the graphics. So of course, I should have known what I was expecting when I booted this up in handheld. And you guys may or may not know this already, but I'm a person that does not play my Nintendo Switch away from the TV all too often. Don't get me wrong, I will take it out the dock once in a while, but for the most part, I do not take it out of the dock. I mostly play on the TV or on some type of monitor, but this game is absolutely changing my mind. And out of a lot of games I've played on the go before, this game is absolutely blowing my mind. And for the most part, as of right now, I'm still playing this game in handheld mode because I love my experience in handheld mode so much. I guess granted, it does harken back to the old PSP games, and I played a lot of sports games on the PSP, like all the NBA games, all the Madden games, things like that. So of course, my transition was easy since I played sports games on the go in the first place, and that's what really makes this copy of NBA 2K19 really outshine every other version of the game. If you're playing on the TV, you will have a good time, don't get me wrong, but this game is a game that if you're not playing in handheld mode, in my opinion, I would say maybe just do not buy this unless you really only have a Nintendo Switch and you don't mind some of the trade-offs in like graphics on the TV, or you know that the community is going to be worse, you're not going to have voice chat when you play online with other people. There'll be a whole lot of drawbacks there, but overall I definitely think this game, for my $3 that is currently going on for the eShop right now, they have a massive sell for this game. This game is definitely a massive go, and I love everything about this game. I love the presentation of this game, I love the commentary of the game, I love the character models for the most part, with the exception of, like I said, there is some glitching, there is some character models that look funky, but overall I love my experience with this game. And from what I'm actually playing, I'm gonna probably keep playing this in handheld mode for quite some time because I just love my experience. There is actually one problem with my game which I didn't even talk about, which I'm gonna actually talk about right now. I'm not quite sure what mode it is. I think it's my career or my team or whatever the case may be. Even playing online, you do need to download a whole bunch of updates to pretty much make the roster updated. And here's the problem. For some reason, my game is just flat out not updating. And I can confirm it's not my internet, and I can confirm it's not my Nintendo Switch. I do not know what's going on with my game. There's definitely something going on with my game. It'll pretty much sit at like 1-2% for like 5 hours at a time. It just flat out does not make sense. So a lot of modes in the game I flat out cannot test, and I don't know what's going on there. I might need to contact 2K, contact Nintendo or something, because something is definitely up. But then again, I guess it's not a big deal since I only paid excuse me, since I only paid $3 for the game. What can I really expect? But I really need to get that fixed as of right now. But overall, this is definitely a badass NBA game. If you're into NBA games, if you're into sports games, if you're into the Nintendo Switch and you only have a Nintendo Switch, overall, I like everything about this game. And this is one video as well. You probably didn't see throughout the whole video. I didn't show any gameplay because I don't really need to show any gameplay on the TV. It's just average or a little bit better than average, but still, it beat my expectations for it being on the Nintendo Switch. And then in handheld mode, of course, the main thing I wanted to talk about was the handheld mode experience. I was honestly, for me, blown away. I mean, when I mean blown away, I mean blown away. I'm getting super addicted to playing this on the go on the Nintendo Switch. It's just that I can't show you any handheld footage on the Nintendo Switch. Sure, I can put a camera up to the Nintendo Switch and film it like like a poor man, but I'm not going to do that because it wouldn't even show you the real experience. You would be looking through a camera lens, looking through a YouTube video, which is going to be compressed, all that stuff into consideration. Just trust me, when you play this in handheld mode, I think for most people, they are going to be blown away by their experience, or at least very happy with their experience in handheld mode, and that is the reason to have this thing, to play this NBA 2K19 game on the go. It is absolutely a flat-out fantastic game for it being a port of a game that's originally on PS4, Xbox One, and the PC. It beat my expectations, and I am glad I paid $3 for this game. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.